So if you are familiar with the subject of my video, or if you clicked on this video, the title, you're probably aware that these two characters aren't what you're expecting to see. You're probably wondering, why are they in this video? Well, they're here to represent, this is Leonardo from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Grumpy Bear from the Care Bears. And they kind of represent what the kind of things most people think of when they think of 80s cartoons. They think of these shows that were subsidized by American toy companies, shows like these, Transformers, G.I. Joe, He-Man, She-Ra, Gem, My Little Pony, and so forth. And, I'm not going to lie, I liked a lot of those shows, and I still quite enjoy them now, to some extent, many of them. But they weren't my favourite 80s cartoon. My favourite 80s cartoon was something quite different. What was it? Well, chances are you know, having clicked on this video, but if not, I'll give you an introduction. So this is the cast of characters from the 1980s cartoon, or 1980s and 1990s cartoon, Count Duckula. This is my favourite 80s cartoon. Why is it my favourite? Well, I mentioned all those other cartoons. Those were cartoons that my family, and I was raised by my mother and her parents, my grandparents, would all watch together, and they certainly tolerated those other cartoons. Maybe they even enjoyed them occasionally. But Duckula was something we all loved watching together. It really was. So, it has a lot of sentimental and nostalgic value for me. But, my affection goes beyond that. I think it's a very unique show, a well-written show, a well-animated show for the most part. The animation quality can vary, but even the ones that are not as slick or fluid are still pretty good by 80s TV standards, or TV of any time standards. So yeah, that's why I love it. And why am I celebrating it? Well, this coming Wednesday is the 35th anniversary of the UK broadcast of the first broadcast episode. Not the first episode made, that's widely believed to be Unreal Estate, which didn't air until the third series, but that's a tale for another day. The first episode, No Sax Please Were Egyptian, which is a pun on the stage farce and subsequent Ronnie Corbett film No Sex Please We're English, which is a very strange thing to parody with the title of a cartoon aimed at kids, but there you go, it happened. While some of the information out there has suggested that the show was actually airing in Nickelodeon in the United States a little while before that, some sources say otherwise, but even though it was international co-production with America and Spain and so forth, it's generally regarded as a British cartoon. So, and I'm British and I'm living in the UK and always have done. So I think it's appropriate to celebrate it on its 35th anniversary in the UK. Now, I kind of assume, even though I'm giving this intro that's very expository, that most people who are clicking on this are familiar with Duckula broad strokes. You know that this is Duckula, this is Nanny, this is Igor, this is Dr. Von Goosewing. You probably know that he's the vegetarian reincarnation of a long line of vampires. You know that he's the butler and he's not very happy with it. You know that Nanny is a nanny. Simple as that. You know that Dr. Von Goosewing is a well-meaning vampire hunter who means well, but he's after the wrong guy. He's after a good guy. Or a guy that's better than he thinks. Doctor's got some quirks, but he's not the kind of villain that Von Goosewing thinks he is. I could possibly go into a big long spiel about Cosgrove Hall, saying, Cosgrove Hall, Mutter Mutter Mutter, formed in the 70s, Mutter Mutter Mutter, Jamie the Magic Torch, Mutter Mutter Mutter, Kenny Everett, Captain Kremen, yada yada yada. But, I'm going to level with you. Or I could have called a lot of the later footage, and it's already going on a bit. So I'm going to skip most of that, and instead I'm going to point you towards two sources that can give you a lot of information. One I highly recommend in particular. So, if you want to go beyond just a standard Wikipedia page kind of thing, you can look at Knickknack's video that's here on YouTube. That's he's doing a series of very good videos about the history of the Nickelodeon cable channel. He'll check that out. Check out his video on Count Duckula if you want to see that. And he's also got a video on Danger Mouse, which, as I'm sure most of you know, is the show Duckula was spun off from. And I also highly recommend the Duckula blog by Andrew Morrice, aka Granitoons, who is a very talented cartoonist and artist in his own right. So check his work out. And I believe his wife is also a very talented cartoonist and artist. So check her work out as well. But yeah, he's written this amazing Duckula blog that goes far beyond. I mean, for a long time, there was a real paucity of information on Duckula out there. And, he's pretty much everything you want. Detailed episode breakdowns, storyboards, animation cell references, bits of odd merchandising, all kinds of things. So, yeah, I highly recommend going to his website and checking it out. I'll be referring to it several times over the course of these videos, no doubt. So, yeah, that's the best resource on Duckula out there. But, what could be the second best resource on Duckula out there? These videos? Well, probably not. But to celebrate the 35th anniversary, I have, over the last 35 years, I've picked up quite a lot of Duckula merchandise, these things included. So I'm going to be going over those in a series of videos, with the final one will be coming out on the sacred day itself, this Wednesday, the 6th of September. I should note, I suppose, that as I'm recording this, I think CITV, the channel, the British sort of sub-channel that Duckula aired on in the UK, is shutting down, sadly. So that's a bit of a sad coincidence. It's just going to be a small part of their online streaming services these things are going. So, that's a bit of a sad momentum, even though, I haven't watched it for many years myself. And to be honest, outside of Duckula and a few other shows, it didn't have the same meaning to me that it does to many other kids in the UK of my age and slightly older and indeed slightly younger. But it's a sad note to go out on. To get the ball merchant, these are these 4 plastic figures that you've been looking at now for a fair old while. They are a type of merchandise that was pretty common in the UK in the 80s. Mostly, I gotta say, for non-American cartoons. I know there were some Dogtanian ones and some Willy Fogg ones along these lines. I bought these in a co-op department store around 1990 when I was about 3 or 4 years old. That's a memory that sticks with me, and I've kept onto them for all this time. I don't know if co-op department stores are even a thing anymore in the UK. You've still got co-op little supermarkets, I know, but the one in Norwich was quite a long time ago replaced by a Wilko, and sadly it's not looking too good for them either right now. But this is not going to be a sad occasion. This is a celebratory occasion. And I should point out, I'm not a professional YouTuber. I'm not an amateur YouTuber. There's going to be a lot of sloppy edits, a lot of weird experimental angle, aspect ratio changes, which just makes me avant-garde. I mean, let's have one now. Whoosh! How good was that? But yeah, there's going to be, this is a good chance for you to see some of the range of Duckula merch that's been made over the years. Hopefully we'll have a lot of fun, and I'll see you in the next video.